Welcome to the UK International Powerboat Grand Prix, which this year returns to the National Water Sports Centre, Home Pierpont, Nottinghamshire. This weekend has attracted a large entry of S850 catamarans. Two new Burgess prototypes featuring safety cells, offset sponsons and cockpit canopies are the centre of attraction. The Asfar Osprey Powerboat Rescue Team are here this weekend to provide their much valued safety cover, with a minimum of 2 doctors on the water whenever racing is taking place. A large crowd of spectators has gathered to line the water's edge, and they eagerly await the start of Heat 1.
Bill Lagden, we're used to seeing you in monohulls. You've moved up to Formula 4 this year then?
Yeah, I had a go of a Formula 4 the end of last season in a club race, and I decided I much preferred racing the catamarans.
You had rather a nasty accident towards the end of last season. Did that make your choice any easier?
Yeah, I suppose it did. It did frighten me a hell of a lot. It shook me up, that accident. But I did race monohulls afterwards. But I had a go of a catamaran, and I just felt a lot safer in it.
It's a more comfortable ride then?
Much more comfortable, yes, yes.
Are you able to run any of your old equipment?
Yeah, I'm using my old propeller. I was using my old battery, but that gave out. But yeah, I mean, some of the equipment I can use, some I can't. I've changed the engine because obviously it's a much bigger cc. Got another 100 cc. Obviously the boat is entirely different. Trailer had to be changed, but virtually everything, you know, all the running gear I kept.
What about the course here at Nottingham? Do you like it?
Yeah, I haven't run this course in a cat yet. So I'm a bit worried about 180-degree bends because I've not done them sort of bends in this boat yet. But hopefully it will go around. I mean, just wait and see.
So you feel reasonably confident for your weekend's racing ahead then?
Yeah, I'm not here to win yet because I'm not experienced enough. But I'm here to enjoy myself, and I'm going to go as quick as I can, obviously.
Right then, Phil. We wish you well for the weekend's racing ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, chatting in the pits now with driver Mark Terry in S850. How are you looking forward to your racing this weekend?
I'm looking forward to it a lot, but I don't think it'll be very... At the moment, I've just had a engine seize after the first lap of practice. I've spent quite a lot of time and money, and fortunately, OMC have been really helpful and lent me a new power head. So just wait.
Lent you a new power head?
Yeah, they lent me a new power head for the whole weekend. We're going to see how that goes, and hopefully we'll do well with it.
So you're getting some good support out of AMC?
Get very good support, yeah. Couldn't ask for more. They've been really helpful, yeah. Very much.
Have you raced this course before in this class?
Yes, I did it. Not in this class. I raced it last year in another class.
That was the Demolition Derby, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I went for a swimming lesson in that one as well, so yeah, came out of it reasonably unscathed, a bit shaken, but it's the first time in this class though. So. Was that anything to do with the fact that you have moved up to Formula 4? Did that upset you with monos, or is it just you felt that you needed to naturally progress? No, I thought it was just time I moved on and tried to go up, just gradually work up the field. I didn't think that particular boat that I was in was capable of winning on that circuit. You know, it was a winning boat anyway, so it meant a change. And whilst I was spending out the money on a change, I thought I'd go into this next class up, the Formula 4.
This is a Barracuda hull, is it, you know?
Yeah. So there's only one or two now with Barracudas, and they do seem to be coming up the field a little bit, so I just hope that I'll do well for Bob Nelson.
Yeah, I'm sure. Will it be changed to a safety cell for next year?
Hopefully, yeah. If the finance becomes available, it will be. Yeah, it works. It all depends on. Well, I say it's all depends on the finance, really. I think you're looking at about £2,000 to put a safety cell in the boat. It's whether you have a new safety cell put in or have a complete new boat. Have to work that out with Bob, I think.
Indeed, yes. So back to today's racing. How do you see your chances?
It's a non-entity at the moment, though. I don't know. I haven't even had a practice on this one yet, and like I say, I've got a new Virtual Works engine from there, so I would hope to do well. But I spent quite a bit of money on propellers as well, so like I say, I think I'll be a lot further up the field than what I have been. But there's a lot of competition. It's what happens on the day.
Yes, indeed. And what about your sponsor? Who have you got sponsoring you?
It's the firm I work for, First Cover Print. It's just outside Tunbridge Wells, and he purchased the boat. Well, he gave me the money to purchase the boat.
What sort of business are they in?
In print, we print. There's just the four of us there. We just a small printing company, really. So you see my ex-boat that I did have. That was the First Cover Print boat as well, but that was just a name we put on the side of it to make it look pretty. But they actually sponsored me this year.
And out of the other competitors, who do you fear the most on the field?
I feel them all on the field. Everybody drives fast out there, and it's very competitive. There isn't anybody individual that. It's Ken and John Bill. What I'd like to try and do well is with somebody like Mike Ashton, who's also running a Barracuda. Just if I can do as well as what he's doing, then it's good news for Barracuda boats.
Useful comparison for you then, really.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Bob Nelson, I think the fact that there's a Barracuda gone up there now, has been up the front in the top 3 or 4 now, that's sort of rekindled his enthusiasm for building Formula 4 boats, and hopefully if I can do as well, it'll pay off for him as well. So.
Right, well, we'll keep an eye open for you then.
As we get ready now for the start of the S850 Heat 1 here at Home Pierponts. 20 boats on the start pontoon. This is going to be an extremely exciting race. We've got 89 Revval sponsored Jerry Peachman on pole position. And they're away. The boats storm off up the course, and as they pass our commentary position, we'll get a look and see if we can see who's in the lead. And as I can see across now, it's 2 boats in fact who are in the lead. Look like Jonathan Swarbrick just ahead of David Giggins, and Mike Ashton coming up very quickly in 3rd place. As the rest of the boats go up the course, and it looks as if Ken McCrory there, British champion, got a very bad start as he tails the rest of the field. And we look across to the top turnbuoy now to see if we can see which of the 2 boats it was that makes the turnbuoy first. Will it be the yellow boat of the Lang Holmes Burgess, or in fact another boat indeed has come up into the front position? In fact, it is the Revval sponsored boat. From out of pole position, Jerry Peachman seems to have found some extra power from somewhere, and just look at the way he's making his way down that back straightaway now. He's shown the rest of the field what for as he goes away, and must have opened up a gap already of about 25 yards. 3 boats battling it out there for 2nd position as they come down to complete lap 1 to the pit turnbuoy. And Jerry Peachman has already opened up a further 25-yard lead. And it looks to me to be Jonathan Swarbrick, in fact, who makes the turnbuoy first, but goes wide. David Giggins gets a tighter inside line, but in actual fact it is Swarbrick who's got away first. And in 3rd position I can see Tim Ryman, and Mike Ashton unfortunately dropped back to what would be 4th position in this first lap as they all pass around the turnbuoy now. We see if we can pick any other boats out. Mark Terry there we were speaking to earlier on, and that looks like the fully enclosed brand new Burgess Peter Beard also in our camera view there as they go up once again. Let's just see if Jerry Peachman can hang on to this amazing lead, and he certainly has. Swarbrick has managed to close up the gap, and Giggins has been left a little bit behind as they all now make the top turnbuoy. Some of them flying it pretty high there, as you can see in the distance, taking a few chances as the wind gusts across the course just on that top turnbuoy. But they're all around safely as far as we can see, and as they make their way down the course, we wait to see if there's any change in the first 3 positions. Still Jerry Peachman. And once again, Jonathan Swarbrick goes well wide on that bottom turn, and David Giggins trims it well back as he gets away. Tim Ryman again in third place, fourth Mike Ashton in fifth. It looked to me like the Nautic sponsored boat of Ian Andrews. As the rest of the field goes through, we just see John King, alternative ceilings and petitions in the blue boat passing through, and that looks like Ian Burnup, the former junior who's taken up the Formula 4 class for the first year. Anxious, I'm sure, to get round the course without any serious incidents, and it's very important that if you're not familiar with national racing, that you should take it easy for the first few races to get familiar with the rest of the boats, and not too try hard too quickly. Otherwise there can be disastrous consequences when there's 20 boats on the circuit. Again, we can look across the course and see a tremendous gap now being opened up by the Red Vale sponsored Jerry Peachment, and what an excellent boat that is. And back marker in our camera view now, 49, that's Erica Earler. That's her first national this weekend, and I'm sure again she'll be taking a nice, easy, safe line around the course. Barracuda boats sponsored Mike Ashton, 79, currently in fourth place, and doing very nicely. I'm sure he'd be very pleased with that position at this stage of the race. 52 Anglian Factors, that's Janjuan Chalice from Alton Broad, and 54 John King, London Club driver, and sponsored by, as I said, Alternative Ceiling Petitions. 85, yet another first-year driver on the course. That's Julian Clark, driving the Christian Salveston bluefin hull there. And again, we see the race leader, Red Vale, sponsored. And in actual fact, if you didn't know, Jerry Peachment is now the UK sole agent for Silver Engine, so it's not inappropriate that he should have a Silver Engine on the back of his boat. And in actual fact, Davy Giggins there has in fact the leading Yamaha engine on his boat, and the leading OMC engine there of Ian Andrews in the Nautic sponsored Burgess. 88 sponsored by Lovell Homes, powered by Yamaha, that's John Whittle. Had an earlier promise in the season, but unfortunately seems to have lost a little bit of ground as the season has gone on. And across the course. Just make out the colours once again of, in fact, the race leader, showing his form. This is a Mulgard hull, incidentally. There are two Mulgards racing on the course this afternoon. This is one of them, and John Chalice in 52 is the other Mulgard. Three Barracudas at the present time being led by Mike Ashton, and I think you'll find that Mark Terry is somewhere in the midfield with his Barracuda. I spoke to him earlier on. And Erica Earler bringing up the rear of the Barracudas somewhere down the field. The rest of the field, of course, is 14 Burgess hulls, very popular at the moment. And talking to Burgess hulls, one of the Burgess hulls appears to be in difficulty there at the top of the course. It looks like Jonathan Swarbrick in actual fact, the second place driver, but it could in fact be Peter Beers looking up there. I think he's got his canopy in his hand, and we'll look now to see around the course to see if we can find confirmation of this. We were talking to Erica earlier a moment ago. This is the third Barracuda on the course, and yet another one that is powered by an OMC, and there in fact is boat 73, one of the Powerboating International team. 73, Jonathan Swarbrick, having a very successful race for this first heat in S850, but the pressure is on now from David Giggins as he gets a little bit closer on each lap. 79, the Barracuda sponsored boat of Mike Ashton, still in fourth position, managing to hold off the challenge there from Ian Andrews. And that's Paul Blackburn, that's another brand new hull. He seems to have picked up a little battle there from Alton Broad's John Beale in 93, the Anglian Windows Orange boat, both powered by Silvers. And of course, it's a brand new Silver, in fact, we're looking at on the back of Paul Blackburn's boat this weekend. 54, John King, once again, a member of the Alternative Ceiling Petitions team, is fielded this weekend. The other member we haven't seen yet this afternoon is Phil Lagden. He's somewhere on the course, and we'll be keeping a lookout for him and seeing him no doubt in due course. This is Nautic Steels now I can see in front of us. 84, Ian Andrews. In fourth position, fifth position shall I say, for 84. The OMC powered Nautic Steels boat of Ian Andrews, and a very successful year he's having in national racing, I might say. Ken McCrory now putting up a challenge there for Ian Andrews' fifth position. Ken McCrory obviously has managed to claw his way back up the entire field from a very poor start, and he obviously had a bit of difficulty on the start to pontoon. John King once again we see in our camera position now, making his way down the back straight away. Trims the boat down now, and we've got 24, that's the ADS company, the people that make the cash registers, sponsoring Carlos Medina this afternoon. Race leader now in our viewpoint. And the Mulgard hull looks ideally suited to the conditions on the course here this afternoon. Two drivers having a bit of a tussle there. Backmarker 85, Julian Clark, being put under pressure there by Tim Ryman, the Shetland-sponsored Burgess hull of Tim Ryman's, who's incidentally picked up an additional sponsor this weekend. The company that deals exclusively with Shetland cruises here in Nottingham is known as Nottingham Castle Marina, and they've got a little bit of a display on the bank opposite where the public are gathering round. There, that's the boat of Mark Terry, the driver we spoke to earlier on. He's using a borrowed powerhead by OMC this weekend, and it looks to me as if David Giggins is mounting a bit of a challenge now on Jonathan Swarbrick. A little bit closer again as he's managed to get a tight line around that turn, boy. Sure that John's feeling a bit of pressure now from David. Obviously pulling out all the stops as they get up the course, and Ken McCoy looks as if he's been able to get in front of 84 there, Ian Andrews. Can't quite confirm that yet, but that certainly looks as if it was the case. And there's the other driver of the ACP team, 55 of course, Phil Lagden. Again, a driver who's having his first season in Formula 4 racing and making a very nice job of it, I might say so. As we see, the race leader going round there, just on the inside of Eric Arola. This is way up the course. And Tim Ryman, once again, as we were saying earlier on, sponsored by Nottingham Castle Marina for this weekend. And Shetland Cruises, of course, are his major sponsor. Mick Stone's there, another driver we haven't seen this afternoon as yet, number 86. Mick Stone, the only driver in Formula 4 who's represented this weekend from the Gateshead Powerboating Club, who are principally monohull drivers, but Mick obviously prefers the catamaran style and the Silver engine. So again, from Gateshead Club, Mick Stone in 86. David Giggins in the Langholms Burgess. In fact, he managed to get past 73, and he's now setting his hopes on getting in front of the race leader, 89, Jeremy Peachmans. And again, another look at the Burgess, the OMC Power Burgess of Ian Andrews, Nautic, number 84, and John Beale is moving alongside him now, having demolished the opposition of Paul Blackburn. He's moving up the field to take on 84, Ian Andrews. Talking to Paul Blackburn, we can now see him on the back straight away. He's mounting the challenge for the other Mulgard, John Chalice, number 52, Anglian Factors sponsored Mulgard Red Hull of John Chalice. What a remarkable performance Paul Blackburn is managing to put up for Chambers and Cook in 91 this weekend, considering it's an absolutely brand new hull and a brand new unrun engine. It's quite amazing what you think you can do. You can just put it all together, get out on the water and have a hell of a good race as he is doing. Yamaha Power Barracuda of Mike Ashton there, passing in front of our camera position. Still managing to hold on a very... And just one moment, there is another incident on the course. I see the Osprey powerboat boats are converging on an incident on the infield now at the top of the turn, boy. I can't see who is involved. I'm looking around the course now to see if there's any other drivers that I can obviously see are missing out of the race. But at this present time, I can't identify who's gone. The flags are being waved. There's obviously no danger to the rest of the competitors on the course. But for the time being, there certainly is an incident, and there's probably a driver in the water, certainly up on the top of the course on the infield from what I could make out. David Giggins still managing to put the pressure on. He's getting very close now to Rev Vale's. And he's got a chance there as he goes down the inside, but no! Rev Vale has found some extra power as he manages to pull away, and David is left thinking whatever happened there on that turn. But it looked as if it was going to get really close there for David Giggins. And I thought he had a really good chance on that turn, boy. But it looks quite clear now that there's some acceleration there in that Rev Vale, which is just a little bit more than the Yamaha-powered Burgess of David Giggins can deal with. But nevertheless, he's still managing to gain on him as they get up to the top turn, boy. And we will wait with interest to see if he can manage it in the closing stages of this heat. 55 there, that's Phil Lagden once again, managing to have a very successful race. going across the course. You can see David Giggins is still managing to put the pressure on. And David once again gets very close. He takes a lot of chance. And David is hooked. He's hooked on the bottom turn, boy. Oh, it was nearly all over there for David Giggins. What a shame. He got so close to taking general position, but now his plans are obviously in ruins. He has got so much time to make up now. That has nearly, in fact, lost his second place to Jonathan Swarbrick, but has fortunately managed to hold on to that. David obviously trying very, very hard this afternoon. Saw his opportunity on the pit turn, boy. Unfortunately allowed the boat to dig in, a little bit of inaccurate trimming, and hooked. And what a disaster that has been for him. He got so close to becoming the supreme champion in his first heat. This is very disappointing for him, I'm sure. Driver with his hand in the air now, and looks as if he's in trouble. That looks like Mick Stone, in fact, the John Burden driver. Mick Stone in difficulty on the back straight. Hand raised. Let's hope there's nothing too serious wrong with his outfit. And just turning for home now, we can see the boat of 89, fabulously driven by Jerry Peachman, takes the flag. Tremendous form, and he nearly lost it to David Giggins. Our commiserations go out to David in second position, who tried really, really hard there to get that one. But unfortunately, it was not to be. There we go. The rest of the field go through, taking the flag. So it's David Giggins in second place. There we go. That's the fifth place driver. Nautic's Ian Andrews. And in fourth place, Tim Ryman takes the flag. 55, Phil Lagden going through. Very successful first heat for Phil. I'll surely be well pleased with that one. Anglian Factors, that's the Mulgard. 85, that's Julian Clark in the bluefin, the one wobble bluefin, flying it a little bit high as he anxiously goes through and takes the flag. 54, John King passes through, and as the boats now are retiring back into the pits, we look back on that terrible shame there for David Giggins as he hooks after nearly taking control of the race. Eric Earler takes the checkered flag in 49. I'm sure she'll be pleased with being able to complete this first national for her without any serious incidents. And 73. Very pleasing drive there for John Swarbrick.
Tim Ryman, you've obviously improved your pit facilities this year. How's the racing going for you?
Oh, it's been very, very, very good this season. We've done a few internationals and we've been quite good up in the national series in UK.
How long have you been racing now, Tim?
This is my third season in Formula 4. The first year I had a Hodges just to get used to Formula 4. Then we've gone onto the Burgess boats and become a lot more competitive.
And what engine are you running this season?
This year we've opted for the Selvas. They ran ever so well last year. The Yamahas were a little bit down on power, so we opted for the Selva, and we've proved ourselves. We've had a lot more success with the Selva. We've won more races, and it's going good now.
You got a sixth position, I understand, yesterday.
No, we got a fourth. It was fairly close off the start. I held my line up to the top boys. With the Selvas, you've got to get them wound open, and in this long course here today, you can get to the top corner, and she's really on song. I come round the top boy, kept a tight line, and run it down, and we was in fourth, right behind Dave Giggins. It was fairly close because it's a big course again, but I'm having a little bit of problem with this boat getting it round the corners because it's got a short sea, and it's also got deep sponsons, and it's not going round the corners as good as what my sailboat might.
Are you expected to get your sail back this season?
I hope to get my sailboat back this season. If not, I'll probably put it up for sale and we'll have a new one with a cab over for next season.
You fancy the idea of being in a totally enclosed cockpit then?
Well, you've got to try something new all the time. I mean, you've got the option of running with it or without it, so it's purely driver's preference.
So back to today's racing. The weather conditions are excellent out there. The water's nice and calm now. How do you see your chances today?
I'd like to say I'd win, but we'll have to see when the racing comes.
Tim, we'll wish you well for today's racing then.
Thanks a lot.
Here at the Nottinghamshire Grand Prix with Paul Blackburn. Paul, a new boat, a new engine, is it, or is it your old engine?
No, it's a new engine we had in from Salva in Italy. It was new on the back Friday night, and new boat Friday night as well, so it's a bit of an experiment this weekend.
You did have an opportunity to run it yesterday. How did it all go?
That's right, we were running well up to the first buoy, I think in third position. but we hadn't set the boat up perfectly right, and it was very windy, rough yesterday, and basically we just want to bring it back in one piece.
It's a matter of trial and error setting up a new boat, I assume.
That's right. We've done a lot through the night, and we've done a couple of hot laps today, and I think we're up with the fastest runners.
And the new enclosed cockpit, does that seem to suit you?
It does, yeah. I'm very pleased with it, but I went out today without it, and it's more probably what I'm used to, and I think we'll probably run a race without it and see how we fare.
Right then, well, we'll look forward to seeing that then, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's eyes down, look in once again. Heat 2 of the S850 here at Nottingham Home Pierpont. 17 boats now on the start pontoon for the start of Heat 2. Once again, Rev Vale, of course, are in a very treasured pole position, and they're away. David Giggins gets a good start as his boat leaps into action. And David Giggins leads the field, trims it wide out now to get the extra speed to get up the course. It's Giggins, just ahead of Swarbrick, just ahead of Rev Vale's Jeremy Peachman. The rest of the field goes through. That's Terry, Stones. And then bringing up the rear, Julian Clark in boat number 85, the Bluefin Ron Wobble hull. All boats clear and all the way. As they make their way up to the top turnbuoy, we look to see which coloured boat is going to make the turnbuoy first. Will it be again Jeremy Peachman, or will it be the yellow boat of David Giggins laying Holmes Burgess? In actual fact, it looks as if David Giggins took the turnbuoy third, as we saw from this position. As they battle again, once again, 3 boats align as they come down to course. Jeremy Peachman is well out in front again in the 89 Rev Vale. There's a boat in spray behind him. I can't see which one it is at the moment. But is it Giggins? Yes, it is. David Giggins is in second place once again in his second heat of the S850 Formula 4 race here at Home Pierpont on Bank Holiday Monday. And glorious weather we're having. Course is much flatter. No wind to give the drivers problems this time. In actual fact, we've got the boats mixed up in spray there. John Beale is in second position. David Giggins has been relegated to third position. As the rest of the field go through, there's a boat broken down on the course, and it looks like it's Paul Blackburn in trouble. Paul Blackburn, who's decided to run without his canopy for this heat, is broken down on the course. 91 is in difficulties. Is it just a jack plug, or is it something more serious? We'll wait and see. As we look again, once again, across the course, John Beale is managing to hold his second position and pursued Jeremy Peachman's in the number 1 boat at the moment. David Giggins is letting the chances slip through his fingers here this afternoon. Beale giving a nice turn of speed. He's got a flyer away from the pontoon, and he's holding onto this boat very hard. He's challenging now very hard for Rev Vale's 89, Jeremy Peachman's. Knows he's right behind him. He knows he's got to put his foot down and give it all he's got. Get around the turnbuoys on the tightest possible line. The rest of the course go through now. Shetland Cruisers. John Whittle, Lovell Home sponsor. Mike Ashton's dropped back a place or two in this heat. That's Mark Terry, still going round with the borrowed OMC powerhead. And again, ex-junior driver, 61, that's Ian Burnap in the Livermore and Knights Formula 4 catamaran. And John Beale is hanging it really high now as he comes down the back straightaway. He's determined to give it all he's got. David Giggins hasn't given up by any means. He's also got the trim right back. As all these boats are really pressing hard. Jonathan Swarbrick, unfortunately, he's now been relegated to 4th position in this heat. Has to give it all he's got for powerboat.